You know what? Let's dim the lights, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make this dramatic. Dim the lights for this presentation. Here we go. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to VeVe Investments. On today's episode, we are taking the first ever look inside Cavrnus. So Cavrnus built the VeVeVerse. So I did mention we are going to be doing another video on the company because they were going to be announcing some news. Their free trial platform was that news. So we're going to be looking at the same interface and tools that we're going to be getting in the VeVeVerse. So if you guys are interested, make sure to stay tuned. We discuss it all in this episode. So for anyone wondering what you're about to see, I want to be real clear. This is not the VeVeVerse. This is the free trial for the Cavrnus platform. However, Cavrnus built the VeVeVerse. What you're about to see is the same interface, or it should be, unless they've built some sort of custom interface. But regardless, you are going to see a lot of consistencies in this trial that you can expect in the VeVeVerse beta. So I've been messing around with it. I've been trying to familiarize myself with how to move and the basic controls. So today's video is to share what I've learned so far with you guys. So we're going to be talking about basic controls, skyboxes, library items, textures, properties, stream boards, and we're going to end the video off with a little bit of speculation based off something that I noticed in the trial. So with that being said, let's hop into Cavrnus. So ladies and gents, you're used to seeing a slide on your screen, and this time around, we got a little inception going on. So I'm actually streaming the slides to a stream board in Cavrnus. So let's first start off with some basic controls. So first off, in the top left here, you're going to see controls. Click on that and you can change your POV. So you have walk mode. You're going to have walk interactive. So you're centered in the screen. You're going to have walk first person. Then you're going to have fly mode. So you can actually fly through objects. As you can see, here's an example of one skybox. Then you're also going to have flat movement. You can't move up or down, just side to side. Top view, front view, and side view. Now on the left hand side, you're going to have some basic building tools. So you're going to have explore, you're going to have interact. So think of this feature as the most updated way to move things in the showroom. So instead of actually having to use the arrows to move them left and right or up and down, you can just click on the piece and swipe whatever way. You're going to have your movement and scaling tools. So if you actually click on this, you're going to see little arrows underneath. Click the arrow, and then you're going to have the option to change it from moving, rotating, or scaling. You're going to have your draw tool for whiteboards, your typing tool, your texturing tool, your measurement tool, and then your pointer. Boom, boom, boom. Now in terms of some basic movements, guys, I got a little mouse on the right-hand side to show you. You're just going to right or left click to move left, right, up, and down. Let me actually just change my POV here to show you. But if you use the center of your mouse, you can scroll in and out. Walking controls are going to be WASD, left, right, up, down. And then if you're in modes like fly, you can actually use Q and E to go up and down, and spacebar goes up as well. Okay. Had someone at my door there for a sec, but you're also going to use shift to run. So if I turn around here, see my guy running around the table, and spacebar to move up if you're in fly mode, which we already talked about. So to customize your skybox, it is going to be available under properties. I'll show you guys that in one sec. But the sky around your vault space in the showroom is actually going to be a skybox. Now these skyboxes allow you to create entire worlds in the space that you're building in. And what I've actually done is linked 21 for free in the description of this video. I put together a little package for you guys. All you got to do is put in your email to sign up for the newsletter. And what you guys can expect in the future are additional free perks for the VeVeVerse. Could be skyboxes, could be 3D models that you see me using to build in my own home space, as well as any exclusive offers for any collections we drop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into fly mode here. We're going to fly outside the building, and I'll show you guys some of the skyboxes that you can get in the description. So right now we're floating around in outer space, so this is going to be one of them. And in order to customize this skybox, I'm going to go up to this little circle at the top here, and you're going to see the option to select your skybox right here. I have an oil painting. I really like the lighting in this one. The lights in the sky, super cool. What do we got next? We got a magical forest. I'm not going to go through them all just because I think that would take a little bit too long, but I'll show you guys some of my favorite ones. I really, really like this Tundra Northern Lights one. Yeah, this one's really, really nice. We have Forgotten Ruins. I don't know why, but this one really gives me Assassin's Creed vibes. Assassin's Creed Origins. We have a cliffside. This one's really nice too, actually. Now, I want to actually show you guys a little trick here, because what you'll notice is some of the skyboxes that you end up uploading are a little too bright, okay? And this would be a perfect example, actually, right here, right? So what you can do is under the same tab, what you'll see is an option for color adjustments down here. If I click that, you can actually adjust the color saturation and contrast. And you'll notice that if I reduce the contrast, look at it, it's like there's almost a barrier. See the trees just disappear in the light? When I reduce that contrast, that barrier of light starts to go back, right? Now I can increase the saturation a little bit. There you go, right? And it just looks much better. The grass is a lot more vibrant, right? Oh, here you go. Look at the purple now. Look at that. So I'll show you with one more example. In fact, actually, let's do the Northern Lights one, because this one looks better when you reduce the contrast as well. And it's already reduced, actually. So what I'll do is I'll show you the difference. When I take this color adjustment off, much brighter. It's almost like blinding you in parts. When I turn that on, you can see the lights a lot more. In fact, actually, I do want to put the contrast up a little bit, because you do get the sun reflecting off the snow. Something like that. But much better. And even the trees pop a lot more now too. Alright, so next on the list we got the library. Disclaimer for those watching. The main difference between this space and the VeVeVerse is going to be the library. So there are going to be items that Cavrnus has built exclusively for the VeVeVerse that you will not see here. I also don't have access to my collectibles. And then there won't be any of the default models that VeVe has added to their library in this one. Now to open your library, you're going to go up to content here. You're going to click library. And then you're going to see a variety of different items that you can use to build your home space. Okay. And these are going to be some of these simple default shapes, cubes, cones. So we got some fire here. Let's put this down. Ooh, ah. And beside your properties icon, you are going to have an object list view. Click on that. You're going to see every object placed in your world. So it's just an easy way to kind of go to something and delete it. But if you are also near the item, I could have also just right clicked and removed it. We got a flamethrower. Now you're also going to have things like special effects. So we got sparkles, glowing particles, pixie dust. We got fluffy white clouds, which I'll show you in one sec. Snowflakes, fluffy snow, swirls, brown fog, rainbow rain, and then just normal rain. Put some glowing particles down. Look at these. There is so much stuff that you can do with just these, I'm thinking of. Now we're also going to have fluffy white clouds. Let's put these down. You don't see them anywhere, and the reason why is because you got to look up. Kind of makes sense, right? So what I want to do now is we just finished talking about the properties tab. So I want to show you guys exactly how far you can customize specific items like this flamethrower or this particle effect. So in order to show you guys this, I just hopped into a random open environment. And what I'll do now is just place down those objects we just talked about. So we now have the particle effect placed. So I'm going to open up the properties menu and you're going to see a variety of options to customize this feature. So we're going to change the emission rate to 5. Watch what happens. So you now see more particles flying around. It's emitting more. I can change the size of these particles. Let's go to 2. Boom. They all of a sudden grow in size. Maybe I want to change the material. Okay, so we'll change the emission color to, I don't know, we'll do like a blue. And there you go. Let's back up here and let's turn the emission rate up to, let's do 50. Oh no, oh no. So cool looking too. But these features are customizable with every object, including the flamethrower and clouds. So let's show you the clouds. So I placed some clouds around, and now let's edit these. So we can change the speed. We can go from 1 to 3. They all of a sudden speed up. Let's change the color from, let's do an Armageddon. Takes a sec to change, but here you go. You can see it starting to change. Now let's put more clouds in the sky. So we'll turn the emission rate up from 5 to, let's say, 20. And as you can see, you start to have more clouds fill the sky. Now we got our flamethrower here. So let's do maybe turn the emission up from 50 to 100. We got more going on in the flame. We'll turn the max size from 3 to 10. Oh, wow. Maybe we'll change the color from like a, I don't know, yellow to a green, but it's going to be a flame, so we're going to have to change that white as well. So, green. Now we got a green flamethrower. Now another thing I've been messing around with are the live camera feeds. So check this out. I've placed a stream board down, and now I'm going to go to my content library. One item you're going to see in this library is a movie camera. So I now have my camera placed, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to turn this around. And I am going to stream a live feed from this camera onto that board. So I'm going to go up here to stream board. I'm going to select my source. I'm going to click the stream board. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click movie camera. Close. And as you can see, it's projecting it onto the stream board. So now if I walk in front of this camera, you're now going to see me. So that is super, super cool. There are endless applications with something like this. You can build a security room for your house. I'm thinking as far as like Hunger Games, or you can do a show where you build a maze, you put 10 people in that maze, and then you line the maze with cameras, right? And then you're watching them trying to figure it out. There's so much that you can do with this. And then some other items they got in their library is going to be some default rooms like this reception office. And I tossed one of my comics on the wall to show you guys what the lighting looks like with one of them. But again, just to be clear, guys, the items in this library are going to differ from the items we'll see in the beta. Now, what I did notice in this trial is that there are no TVs in the library, but you guys are obviously looking at this being streamed to one. On the other end of this room, there are also 9 TVs on the wall. So I am fairly confident in saying that these are going to be available in the library. They're just not in the trial. But I love how easy they are to use. I can just stream what I'm streaming by clicking these right here. And I can toss them onto all 9 TVs. Look at that. Boom. That easy. Walk right up. Resolution's good. Awesome. Now, next up, I want to talk about textures. So there are going to be various default textures that are available in the library, but you do also have the option of creating your own and uploading them into the VeVeVerse. You can create them through platforms like Midjourney, which we've talked about time and time again. I also noticed that you can import monochrome models and texture them inside of here. So you do not need to texture them before you bring them into the VeVeVerse. You do have the option of doing that here. And you can actually select parts of that model to color them individually, or you can select the entire model. Now, I do want to be clear in saying that this will only work with certain models because it depends on how the developer actually uploads the file. If the designer uploads the model as one file, you will only be able to texture the entire model. If the model has been broken down and each part has been uploaded as a separate file, then you will be able to texture the specific parts of the model. So what I've done is I've set up these 6 little spheres, and I'll show you guys exactly how you texture objects. So you're going to go over your little texture tool here, material fill, and just like any other tool on this menu, you are going to see the arrow. Click on that, and you're going to see 2 tabs, one for assets, which are going to be the textures you've uploaded yourself, and then one for library, which are going to be the default textures. So if I just select one here, all I need to do is drag my cursor over top. I haven't even clicked yet. It previews that texture on the item, and then I can right click to texture it. Now, if you're also texturing multiple items at once, you can also just click and drag. Now I'm going to Control Z to undo these changes. We'll click on another item here, and boom, brush metal. Ceramic, didn't really change it much. Clean metal. Colored glass. And there you go. Just textured 4 items in 10 seconds. Now I showed you guys the properties feature with some of these items, but think about the properties tab with some of our collectibles. So take Thor as an example, right? I got the Marvel Mighty on screen, but I'm talking about his other statue on VeVe. You can customize the color of his lightning. You can change the emission rate, the luminosity strength. You can pause his animation so that you can see these changes easier, or you can have it constantly going. The possibilities are just endless. It's awesome. And by the way, those notes that Miss Gecko provided after the Vaultaholics Twitter space, one of the points that they had mentioned in that space was how the VeVeVerse beta feels like a showroom on steroids. This is not a showroom on steroids. Like, that's an understatement, okay? This trial that I'm in, I'm not even in the beta. This trial is like Minecraft on steroids. So at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I have a little bit of speculation for you guys, and the speculation has to do with the amount of space that we have available for us in the VeVeVerse. So this brings me back to those rock formations in the original unveiling. Obviously, we can build around our home. The question has always been, how far? I'm now starting to think that that space goes out quite far. And there's a couple reasons. First, Metaverse Life just put out a tweet not long ago talking about how we have the ability to build entire worlds, okay? You cannot build an entire world on that plot of land that we are seeing in the unveiling. You can build a home space, but not an entire world. The second reason, and we're going to head back to Minecraft here for a sec, has to do with the size of the free trial map. So check this out. Anyone who's familiar with Minecraft knows that if you fly in creative mode to the top of the map, you're eventually going to reach a point where your POV sees the entire map, and the entire map is a square. I'm going to head over into a blank open world in this free trial. I'm going to fly up to the top of the world, and you guys are going to see the exact same thing. So I'm flying up, I'm flying up, I'm flying up, I'm flying up, I'm flying up. Let's get to the top, tippity top. Okay, so I haven't even hit the top yet, but my point here is that you guys can clearly see that the map is massive. So my speculation here is that plot of land that we're going to be getting access to build our home on, I have a feeling that that platform is just a fraction. It's a smaller part of a larger Forge world we have access to. So if you're not too experienced with building, right, then that home space that VeVe is providing you is a nice place to start with. But if you have a lot of experience and you can build intricate models and shapes and things like that with the basic shapes, then it may be possible for you to build 100 different platforms around your home. If I get access to my VeVe home, and keep in mind guys, originally when we saw this unveiling, I looked at that space and I was like, okay, that's going to be a default home, so we can build in and around that model. Then I find out that no, it's the platform that's entirely customizable. You can create your own entire home. And now I'm thinking along the lines of, okay, that's just a small platform in a much larger space that we're actually going to have access to for our home space. I could be wrong, but I hope I'm right. Now, ladies and gents, I think I'm going to end the episode here. There is a lot more that I could talk about just in this free trial, but I think the video is getting a little long now. So if there are any specific ideas or things you guys want me to cover with relation to this trial before you get access to the beta, let me know in the comment section down below. I know we did have Alex and Crypto comment and ask if I can do a video about certain types of games and stuff that you can create in the VeVeVerse. And the more and more I mess around with this trial, the more and more games are coming to mind. So I will be putting that video together. You guys can expect that in the future. But if there is anything else you guys have in mind, make sure to let me know. But ladies and gents, that's our first look into Cavrnus. So if you guys enjoy the content, make sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you want to see in a future episode. And as for our next, I'll catch you then.